Good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. Welcome to our live training of eIMMIGRATION. My name is Vanessa. On behalf of Cerenade, I want to thank you for joining us today. Today, we want to learn what's new. Some of these features are probably not new to you, but we have users that have not joined these trainings for a long time and they want to catch up. We also want to make sure that you guys use eIMMIGRATION to its full potential. The system is not just for forms, so let's make sure that we use it as a full practice management solution. And what we're going to learn today, or just maybe review for those that have seen this before, for those that are new, I'm just going to cover the basic 3 steps: how to create a contact, how to link members, and how to create cases. We're not going to spend a lot of time here because we do have a training coming soon for new users. So make sure that you subscribe to that one or register for that one. I do want to show you how to import data from the CBP website. You do have to be subscribed to the e-filing module. It's an optional module. If you're not yet, you can contact our sales team for more information. We're also going to show you how to customize the case wizard fields so you can make them mandatory. And again, we're going to go over that in a moment. Also, you can customize the fields on the general information page, as well as adding custom fields to that same page, the general information. Now you can link a client's member as an interpreter so that their information auto-populates the forms. We're going to cover how to auto-populate the forms. Again, this is probably not new, but for those that are new or catching up, we do have features that were not here. I was going to say maybe 6 months ago, a month ago. So like it varies. But one of the things, for example, like dragging and dropping, you're probably familiar with that if you have used the system lately. But again, we have clients that subscribed again for after a long time. And so those are little things that make a huge difference, dragging and dropping or the batch upload. We also have an easier way to complete a process step. Again, if you're a user that used eIMMIGRATION in the past, eIMMIGRATION had the process steps where you had to click modify and then click complete. Now you can just complete the process step right away. Also, you can view uploaded PDFs in the client and case profiles. Before you had to download those PDFs. Now you can preview them. You can send the passwordless intake forms or questionnaires in a different language. So right away, instead of having a client to change that. It's easier now to link your Microsoft Exchange Online email. You do have to have Mail Anywhere, which is another optional module. You can customize the tickler. If you haven't done it, we're going to go over that. And lastly, we are adding more forms for the e-filing module. Okay, so let's get started. By the way, I am recording the session. So if you're new, we have a channel on YouTube. It's called Cerenade Academy. Please make sure you subscribe. And the videos, for example, today's lesson is going to be recorded and they are available here. Okay. All right. Also, the PowerPoint presentation that I'm sharing with you today has links that you can click on. You can download this file, the PowerPoint, if you click on handouts, and you can download it. All right, let's get started. All right, let's close all these windows and log in. I suggest that you bookmark your URL. We get clients sometimes calling, trying to log in into the wrong account. How to populate the G28 in e-filing. Okay, so make sure you are subscribed to the e-filing and you're gonna follow the same steps. You schedule, or first of all, lock the form, schedule, and then when you get to the USCIS website, you're gonna see the step when it says, like for the G28, if you have already scheduled that G28, it's gonna let you populate the information, just like any other form. All right, so for those that are new, you want to click on create contact to create a contact profile. This could be for a prospect or an active client, and then enter the information and create the contact. we recommend that that's the first step that you take. And then once you have the contact ready, you start entering data. Let's search for an existing contact. When you enter the information for the contact, again, you can either enter the information in all of these fields manually, or you can send them the questionnaire right here on the left, create questionnaire. Today, again, I'm not going to talk about those in detail, but make sure that you explore the questionnaires that we have already in the system. You can customize your own questionnaires. You can add translations to the questionnaires, and that's done in the administrator portal. You have to have access to the admin tools if you want to customize a questionnaire. Now, by the way, if you are not going to send the questionnaire, but you want to use that to auto-populate forms, you can use the alternate view, access the questionnaire, enter the information here, and then save it. Once you save the data, this stays in the server, and then it populates the forms when you create the case. So either you send the questionnaire, you can print it, or you can use the alternate view. Or like I said, you can just type information manually on the different fields. And the idea is that you want to enter as much information as possible and then open the case and the forms will auto-populate. The second step, once you create the contact and enter data, will be to link the family members. You do need to create a contact profile for these members. If it's an employment-based case, well, we're talking about the business client, and the members are the signatories or the employees or any other, um, let's say like a consulting attorney or HR manager. But again, you want to link them as well as members. For a family-based case, and we're referring to members as like the children or spouse, parents, a joint sponsor, it's important that you link them as well. And you click here, link member, either search, most likely you won't have them in the system yet. So you need to create a contact. When you create a contact for this member, don't generate the client number. You don't want to designate a number for them because they're not a client, but you still need to create a contact profile. So you enter the information for them and select the type of relationship. This is a daughter, this is a father or a spouse. So you just select the type of relationship and then click link. Okay. Let me know if you have any questions at any point. Step number 3, after you create the contact and link the members, is to create a case. And I'm going to, give me 1 second. All right, so I'm going to play a video and make sure that your volume adjusts. And if you're in a Mac, um, hopefully you're not using Safari because it probably locks. Let's see. Give me 1 second.
Hello, and welcome to our Cerenade video. In this video, we will show you how to create a case. From the home page, you can either select the Create button and select Case,
or select the quick links and proceed to select the Create Case wizard.
The Case Wizard pop-up box should have appeared. From here, you will apply settings you want for this case. You will first select the department, meaning which location. You will let the software auto-generate a case number for you, or you can select the case number yourself. You will give it a case name if you wish to apply one. You will then select the case process. By doing so, the system will gather forms, process steps, and document checklists for a particular case. We already have these preloaded for you to choose from, and you can customize these in the admin tools if needed. Finally, you will select a program type and category. These are more for reporting purposes and can also be customized in the admin tools. You will click on Next. You will now assign caseworkers to this case. You can add more by searching a caseworker's name and clicking on their name once found. We will then decide which user we want their info to transfer to forms by clicking the Transfer to Forms button. We will click on Next. We will now link a client to the case. You can do this by searching their name. Once found, select them, and they are now linked to the case. You will define their role. You will find other client profiles you wish to link to the case, such as someone petitioning for a relative. Proceed to search them, select them, and apply the role as beneficiary or alien. If creating an employment case, it's similar. You will search for the employer and select them. Once added, you will define their role as employer. By doing so, it allows you to select branch address and signatory you linked in the Employer's Members tab. You will then link the employee, who they are petitioning for, and link them as alien. You will make one of these clients as the main party and click on Next. You are now at the area that lists the forms. If you selected a case process on step 1, it will list forms associated to this case. If you didn't, you can manually add these here by searching and selecting the form. Once you have your forms, you will finalize by clicking on Save. Your case has now been created and you should be brought into the case to start working on the forms. If you ever need to come back and access the case, you can search it on the home page, specifically the Cases section, or if within the client profile, go to the Cases tab and you will find it there.
Lastly, any recently created or updated case profiles will appear here on the home page.
This concludes our video on creating a case profile.
Thank you for sending your questions. One of the questions that I just received that was, what's the purpose of main party? So when you create a case, if you notice here, it says main party. When you send a letter, for example, and you want to, like, it could be the petitioner beneficiary, the main party, you designate over here where it says case parties, right here. So you can select who's being represented, who hired you. You can, again, when sending a letter template, it's going to ask you for the client information. We go by the main party right here. And so that is the difference. And let me just give you an idea. I'm going to go to documents. Also, when you create an invoice, you select, who's supposed to receive this invoice. Like you can split it if you select both. Let me see. Okay, letters. If I have a letter template, just so you know the difference, these tags either go by actual role, alien, petitioner, derivative, guardian. And if you select individual right here, that means the main party. Thank you for the question. All right, so let's begin with the first one. For those that are new, you can now import data from the CBP website if you are subscribed to e-filing. E-filing is one of our optional modules. You need to subscribe to that one. I think I had already downloaded my e-filing. Give me 1 second. Okay, so we do have forms that e-file, not just the DS-160 or the DS-260, like USCIS forms. And here we go. And when you are subscribed to e-filing, now you can also connect to the CBP website to import the I-94 or like travel history. For example, right here in the e-filing, and I clicked launch. Remember, you have to be subscribed to this module. Now the website name is right here. Mine is Cerenade. Let me enter it here. I recommend you click remember me. It's going to ask you to enter your credentials, the regular caseworker username and password. And when you log in, let me drag, because I have two screens. Give me 1 second. I'm going to drag it all the way here. Okay. So now the difference is that you can click on this icon and import data from CBP website. You're going to enter the information for the client. It's going to ask you, let me see. Well, I don't have a real client, so obviously I'm not going to find information on the CBP website. But just to give you an idea, if I have the date of birth, in this case, or the passport information, I don't have the travel document. It's going to ask me to confirm, and I can import the client's information. Give me 1 second. I can import the client's information and pick the travel history, like the arrivals and departures, and give me One moment. So again, if you are interested in using this feature, you can contact us, or maybe you want to test it and later consider upgrading to Plan B or Plan C. Okay, I'm trying to play the video and it's not letting me. And my it's too large. Okay, but yeah, that is the newest feature that we have where you can import the data from the CBP website and it's going to reflect in the contact profile. Just to give you an idea, once you confirm and you select the dates and for departures and arrivals, it's going to be also for the I-94s, it's going to be here where it says documents, I-94s. In fact, this was here before the import from CBP. It will give you the instructions where you can launch, which is what I just did, launch the application, enter the website name, and then just click import from CBP. It's going to search the client information. You can actually copy paste it with this button and then follow just the instructions. Again, like I said, I don't have a real person that I can't import from. So um, again, if you're interested, just contact us so that you can consider upgrading your plan. The next new feature that we have now is the Case Wizard mandatory fields. Let me show you. If you go into the administrator portal, now let me explain what this is. First of all, what is the Case Wizard for those that are new? When you create a case, this is the Case Wizard window. The Case Wizard asks at this point for the case number, which is mandatory and it's auto-generating now, and the location or department, the branch. Well, if I want to make the process mandatory or the type of program, especially for nonprofit organizations, if you guys need to track the grant or the type of case, you can make these fields also mandatory. If you go into the administrator portal and you click on application settings, which is all the way at the bottom, let me scroll down. Right here. So you click on Case Wizard Required Fields. I will make the case number required and the department and the process. So I can make also, for example, the type of program, if it's grant related for those nonprofit organizations or any jurisdiction for any court type of cases. So you can also make that mandatory. By the way, you can customize the jurisdiction here in the administrative portal as well. So you can make these fields mandatory and then click apply. And when I create a case, let me refresh. I don't think I refreshed the window over here. Oh, sorry about that. I was supposed to save my changes. Case wizard. Okay, apply and then save. It's already saved. All right, sorry about that. Let's go back. For some reason, this testing site is not enabling it. So the asterisk will show on the process or category program type to make it mandatory. I'll check with the development team what's going on. That is actually new. They're probably just implementing it. Now, I'm going to show you how to customize the general info page from the application settings. It's the same area, but different button. Just to show you, you have a contact profile with all of these fields. This is the general info page. Well, if you want to customize these, you go into the administrative portal, also go to application or application general settings, and then scroll down, and it's on the right hand side, right here, general info layout. So click there, and you can disable, for example, maybe we don't really use a picture or we don't care for any external client number, remove any title or like fax number. So you can hide these fields or the entire section if needed, and then click apply. I think you don't have to save, it's already saved. So let me refresh my screen. Interesting, because the fax number is gone, the household income or size is gone, but it's not hiding the picture. Oh, okay. Another thing to report to our team. Oh gosh, it's Friday, right? Please let me know if you guys have any questions. Let me see. We are covering, for those that are connecting, we're right here. So I'm going to show you how to add your custom fields and what custom fields are so that you can include those in your general info page. There are fields in the system that you can create. For example, I want to ask questions like, what is your full name in native alphabet? Or is this the first time that you contact us? How did you hear about the organization or the law firm? So you can create your custom fields and now you can put them here in this general info page. Well, if you want to show them here in this section, not on the right hand side, because that's where we had custom fields. Well, you go into the administrator portal. You want to click on, let me see if I have any, no. Okay. You want to click on client custom fields. Of course, this is where you create or add your custom fields. You can create as many as you want. It could be text, drop-down menu, dates, Boolean types, numbers. When you create the custom field, on the right-hand side, click on System, Client, Custom Fields. Then click on General Info. And that's where you can add them or you can remove them. Okay, so the custom fields that I want to show, maybe I don't want to see the TPSV, I'm going to delete. And it's not going to show up there. Let me refresh. Okay, so it's now gone. That's how it works. It's actually super helpful to have not only custom fields created or showing this on this screen, but also you can create questionnaires, intake forms, where you ask questions like these. You know, is this the first time that you contact us, or TPS country under which you are applying? And you can also link custom fields to actual forms, so they auto-populate the forms. But that's for a different class. All right, so let's go over the next part of our training. Now you can create, well, not create, but link a family member for the client if they're going to be the interpreter, and their data can transfer to the forms. Before, you had to create an interpreter. You can still do it if you have an interpreter in your law firm. You can create an account under users, and when you add the caseworker, the type of caseworker will be interpreter. But what if it's not someone from your law firm, but a family member? Well, if you go to members and you link them, first of all, they're going to be linked here, and I already have their data. So let's say the daughter Jessica is the one translating. So I have her information here, and when I create a case, that I'm not going to go through the process, I'll just open an existing case. When I create a case, I just need to go to case parties and link the daughter. So I'll select the daughter, and the role is going to be the interpreter. And that's it. So when I get to the form, her data will transfer to the interpreter section. Or you can also pick the attorney's information as well. Okay. Let me know if you guys have any questions, please. This is your training, even if it's not related. All right, so the next one, for those that are new, actually, let's see how many of you are new to the system. Can you please click to vote? We have a poll in progress. All right, I'm just going to close it because I've got 74% of the votes. See, it's not 50-50, but almost 64%. Okay, so for those that are new, we want to show you what happens when you have the contact information, you have gathered their data, you have linked the members. Someone asked me about this, why or what's the difference between the relationship versus the case party. I can link, for example, my client's parents' information because I don't want to retype their data, but it doesn't mean necessarily that she's petitioning for them. So you link them as members where you select the type of relationship, but when you get to the case and you create the case, those are the case parties where you select who's the petitioner or who's the alien or the, in this case, the interpreter, right? But that's the difference between the case parties and the client members. Now, after you enter the data, link the members, and create the case, we want to auto-populate the forms. Before I go there, I'm going to play a video to show you how the data auto-populates. Make sure that you click on the name of the client before you open a form so that you can go back and forth. All right, let me know if you guys have any questions during the video.
Hello, and welcome to our Cerenade video. In this video, we will go over how to make forms auto-populate with client info. In our previous video, we showed you how to create a case for family-based cases and employment-based cases on step 3 of the Create Case Wizard. In this video, we will visit an already existing case to see how the forms populate. Let us search for a case by clicking on Cases on the home page. We will proceed to search for the case by inputting the case name or client name. Once found, click on the case number or the Edit button, which will take us into the case. Now, before we begin, something to consider is seeing how our clients are linked to the case and having a separate tab open taking us to our client profile. From the tabs on the right, click on Case Parties. On the Case Parties tab, you will see your clients linked to the case as well as a role given to them on the case. These roles will play a part in how the forms auto-populate. Each case varies. However, if doing a general family-based case, you will link someone as a petitioner and someone as the alien, meaning someone is petitioning for their spouse, their child, their parent, and so on. To link someone, simply click on Link Case Party. A pop-up will appear giving you the ability to search for the client or create a new client profile. Once you have your client located, define their role as petitioner or the alien. For this client, we will say he is petitioning for someone. Our client is now linked to this case as the petitioner. Let us proceed to link the person they are petitioning for. Let us click on Link Party one more time, search for the client, and define their role as alien. You have now linked both parties. Before we move on, something we can do is right-click on either profile and open it in a new tab. This will come in handy if you need to make instant changes on a client profile that will reflect on a form. We can now proceed to click on the Forms tab to the right. Once in the Forms area, we will click on the form name or the Open Edit button to the left, taking us into the form. Once inside the form, we will notice our form has auto-populated with the client profile we linked in the Case Parties tab. You will see a pink note on the left letting you know which client transferred over. Because we linked a client as a petitioner, their info auto-populated where it is marked Petitioner's info goes here. And because we linked someone as alien, their info auto-populated where it says alien's info goes here. Now, even though by default it populated those clients you have linked as petitioner and alien, you still have options to replace info with other client profiles for this specific form. On certain sections, you will find the Select Party buttons. This button helps replace info with another client profile. If we click it, it will ask if we want to replace the client info as well as members of the client. We will select that one. We will then see who we have linked as a petitioner and who we linked as the alien, as well as people linked in their Members tab. If we select one of their names, it will populate that person's information. If we wish to bring back the person we had linked as alien, same steps. Click on Select Party, replace alien and members of the alien, select the person linked as alien, and their info will be brought back. Now, a quick tip. If working on a form and you notice something is wrong, you can manually edit the form, but keep in mind that edit stays only on this form. If all forms need to be updated, you can make the change in the client profile. This is where having the client profile open on a separate tab comes in handy. I can go to that tab, make the change there, come back to the tab where the form is. From here, you have the option of exiting and re-entering the form to have the info appear, or, if wanting to remain on the form, use those select party buttons. Click to replace the client's info and select their name again. What this does is it will refresh with the newest info on the client profile. Now, we saw how a family-based case works out, but what if you're doing an employment-based case? It's similar. If we visit our Case Parties tab, we will see already linked client profiles. If not, we will click on Link Case Party. We will search for our employer. Once selected, we will define them as the employer. When doing so, we will be asked the address and the signatory. If you remember from our previous video, you can link a signatory in the Members tab of a business client profile. By doing so, you can select them here. The address is any branch address inserted on that business client's profile. We will select that as well. We have now linked the employer, but what about the employee? We will proceed to click on Link Case Party, search for who they are petitioning for, and link them as alien. We can proceed to go into our forms. If you go into a form, you will proceed to see business info transfer, including the signatory. You will also see who they are petitioning for as well. This concludes our video on auto-populating forms.
Let me know if you have any questions on how to better auto-populate your forms. Again, the best advice or trick is having multiple tabs open. Make sure that you update the profile, not the form manually. If you are typing information directly on the form, it will be in blue, right? And so that's how you can tell if you're typing information directly on the form instead of updating the database. And the problem with this is that you probably think you're saving time, but when you complete another form, you have to retype that information. When you run a report, that information is not going to be in the report. And so for many reasons, you want to enter the information in the client profile. Freshly missed image, just join now. Oh, someone asked about the DS260. No, we did not show e-filing yet, but I'll play a video. For any tips on handling a client who's a signatory for the employer, but also has a personal case as applicant, say for citizenship? Um, well, it doesn't matter because you're gonna create a contact for them and you can still link them to the employer as the signatory. Um, then you can create a case as an applicant. Well, technically alien. So no, it's okay. G2 data does not populate to e-filer after main form. Okay, if you're having technical issues, it sounds like you probably have an issue. You can contact our technical support. So click on help, technical support, and then let them know so they can connect to your screen and help you. Okay, because it does populate on the USCIS website. Once you schedule the G28, it will see how right here I can lock the G28 and then I can schedule it. I don't have the credentials. Of course, I'm not going to e-file this form, but just so you know, make sure that you have all the mandatory fields on the G28 uh, entered, like these, save and schedule. So maybe that's the step that you were missing. Same thing, we do have the N400. Now the N400 and the I-130, when you want to e-file them, let me show you. I'm going to search for the N400. Notice that I didn't enter the letter or dash, just the number. Make sure that you schedule the intake form wizard. All right, so for the I-130, the I-90, the N400, those forms require an intake form wizard if you want to e-file them. So for example, I can have both forms I probably worked on the regular N400 and it's time for me to e-file the N400, I can transfer the data from the regular or yeah, the actual form to the intake form wizard so that I can transfer the information and then schedule this one and e-file the N400. Okay, so you click, oops, I opened the intake form wizard. Well, actually it works, so I can show you how it looks like. So it has the same information as the N400, but in a different look and feel. So you can actually send this to the client so they can review the information, enter anything that's missing, and when you're ready to e-file, that's the one that you're going to e-file, the intake form wizard. You can tell because the only forms that you can schedule for e-filing purposes will have this status ready schedule. And so you click on select, transfer data to associated forms, and it's going to show you the source form, which is the one that I clicked on, will transfer to the regular N400. So you can do it backwards too. So as long as you select the form, and then you can e-file those two. Same thing for the I-130, I-90. Someone saying we learned the hard way that you'll lose all blue type if Cerenade updates the system. We lost a number of applications that way. That's a good point too. Yeah, so if you update the form, because you type that information, it's not transferring. We pull the data from the database. So the idea is that, and obviously, if you're typing information on the form, then it defeats the purpose of having a system. You might as well just go to the USCIS website and type on the form, right? So the idea is that you want to save time, enter the info in the contact profile, and like the video explains, you can always go back, change it, save it here, and simply update the form. Thank you for that. That's a good point too. All right, so I want to show you also an easier way to complete process steps. Process steps are kind of like the timeline of the case, a workflow. When you create a case, the process steps, you want to modify and enter the start date. When am I supposed to do this and how many days do I have? In other words, what's my target date or what's my deadline? I can delegate and select the caseworker responsible, and I can also select this box if I want them to receive an email, which means that on the 14th of March, I need to call the client for follow-up. And if I don't do that, I'll get an email reminding me to complete this step. But if I finish working on these process steps, let's just add a couple of these. Um, I'll just add my name, but you can leave it blank if you want. That would be the caseworker associated. But let's just say that we have these tasks and I finished calling the client for follow-up. Before, you were not able to click on this box. Now you are. Now you can just click and it's going to update the timeline. It's going to enter today's date and it auto-populates the next one. So for example, if I complete this one for pending prepared reply to USCIS RFE, I click and then it populates the next one and so forth. So as long as you complete, the good thing is that you can go into the tickler and you can see what's pending or what's coming soon. By the way, we're going to talk about this as well, the layout of the tickler. But see how, for example, I can look at my own data or I can show the data for all case workers. Again, this becomes like a general dashboard where I can see in the next 5 days, this is something that you can customize, 5, 30, 60 days, so you can change that. In the next 5 days, we have one item. It tells me the case number, the actual task or item, the process step, and then when is the target date, which is today. Okay. These process steps, again, you can customize them from the administrator portal by default. Someone's raising a hand. I can't unmute you, but you can send me a message. Oh my God, what's going on? The screen is not showing. What happened? Oh, thank you for letting me know. No wonder you were raising your hand. Okay, let's see. This is the second time it happened. I refresh, go to webinar. Can you please confirm if you see my mouse moving? I'm showing the tickler. We're good now. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you for letting me know. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, perfect. Thank you so much for letting me know. Let me go back. I'm telling you, it's Friday. I'm going back to the case. I can show you what I was explaining. These are the process steps. So I was showing you guys this. I went to modify process steps. I'm getting messages again, please. Okay, so someone's raising a hand. I can't unmute you, but please message me. Okay, so these are the steps. I just want to make sure that it's showing on my screen. What I was saying is that as long as you have the step and you enter the date, it will auto-populate the target date. This is your deadline. And you can delegate by choosing the responsible case worker right here. If this box is checked, this one, that means that I will get an email on the 28th when I need to do the pending decision on from the USCIS. So before you had to modify to complete a step. This was blocked. Now you can click on the box and complete a step. This is a box that I was showing. Now, I was also showing you the tickler, which is right here. The tickler is a general dashboard where you can see the reminders and expiration dates, and these are the process steps. So the process steps, if I click here, you can customize the time frame. In the next 5 days, I had one. I just completed that one. Let me go here. In the next 6 to 20 days, I have 6, or we have 6 as a team. It tells me the case number, the actual process step or the task, and what's the target date. So on the 22nd, we need to call a client for follow-up. If I complete that one, I just go to the case and I can mark it complete right here. Okay. Um, let's see. Again, someone raising a hand. Can you message me if you have any questions so I can help you? I can't unmute you. So that's the easier way now to complete a process step. The next one is how to view any PDFs that you uploaded into the client or case window. Let me go to documents and upload a PDF. All right, for confidentiality reasons, I'm going to in the meantime, you guys can message me if you have any questions. I'm searching for my PDF that I had saved here. And okay, found it. Okay, so when in the past, when you uploaded a PDF, you would have to like download it to your computer to see it. Now you can preview it right here. Select view. So I can look at the PDF without having to download it. Okay. Before, again, we didn't have this view. So that's what it means. You can edit, meaning I can change the file, or maybe I want to share with a client, change the name, etc. Also, if I have a file here, let's say in the case I gather their birth certificate or their passport, and I want to keep that in the actual client profile, I can click on edit, copy to clipboard. It's going to copy this document, and then I can just go and paste it somewhere else, maybe a different case or the actual, again, profile. So just select clipboard, and it's going to copy paste the same file. I don't have to re-upload it. Let me know if you guys have any questions. I do want to show you now how to send a questionnaire to your clients via the passwordless link that doesn't require them logging in into the client portal. And now you can send that questionnaire in a specific language. So if you click on create questionnaire and you choose to send it to the client, you're going to pick this option, send intake form with passwordless link. See here where it says prefer language? That's what you need to change. So if I want this client to open the questionnaire right away in Spanish, sorry, I'm reading the questions as I am presenting. And yes, if you are subscribed to the YouTube channel, you will get an email informing you when this recording is available. If you haven't subscribed yet, just go to youtube.com, search Cerenade Academy, and click subscribe. That's when you get the email notification when you click on the little bell. And yes, we upload them here into the, if not, I'll just email you. Okay. Sorry, there was one more question. When you add the same document to multiple places, is it creating additional files or just linking to one document? It's just one document, but different, yeah, different places. Like I don't have to re-upload, I'm just copy pasting. So I can access the case window and I can access the client window and I can view or preview the PDF without having to go to the contact or, so that's what the clipboard's for, like a copy paste. Yeah, so going back to the questionnaire, when sending it to the client, I can now choose the language. Let me pick one of these questionnaires. I think I have, yeah, I have sent that one. Well, I can't send a duplicate, but let me close this and use a different client. Let's send Ana Maria a questionnaire via the passwordless link in Spanish. I'll pick the questionnaire. You can preview it here as well. And then you can select how do you want to send this questionnaire, either via text message, email, or you can copy the link to the clipboard and paste it somewhere else, such as WhatsApp web, if you have it open here. By the way, you have to have SMS as the optional module in your package so that you can send a text message from here. And the client, for security reasons, they have to confirm their identity. So you can also translate the instructions. Let's say I want to send this as an email. I'm going to copy this link and this message right here, instead of using the default message, I can have one letter template. In the administrator portal, you can create as many letter templates as needed. So for example, I'm using one in Spanish where I don't have to retype the same thing, but I'm not going to send her to the to the client portal. I'm going to click here to copy and paste it here. I want her to access this particular link and she doesn't have to have like username or password. Anyway, so when they access this link, they have to verify their identity and they'll get the code. Just to give you an idea, when the clients log in into the client portal, you know what I just realized? I need to have the username or the password for Ana Maria. Let me log in. Okay, sorry about that. I just don't remember this. Next, enter something easy that I can remember. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now I can show you. When the clients log in into the client portal, if they prefer to, instead of using the passwordless link, and they access the questionnaire, it's going to be in Spanish. See, right away. So that's what you can customize by default the language. Let's close this. For those that are subscribed to Mail Anywhere, which is the ability for you to access your emails from eIMMIGRATION, now there's an easier way for you to link your Microsoft Exchange online email. So let's say that I received an email from Ana Maria and it's in my Outlook. I can click where it says file location and then select my Microsoft Exchange Online. This is a lot easier than it was before. You can just enter your email address and then connect to your inbox so that you can pull maybe the body of the message or the attachments and keep them in the client or case profile. Next is how to customize your tickler. Remember I told you that you have under the tools, you have a general dashboard. We call it tickler. Well, you can customize the layout if you go here on the top right, settings, user preferences, and then click on tickler. Well, you can change the settings and the layout. The layout, I may want to have more besides the process steps and reminders or the expiration date. I can add another category like how many cases we have per month or cases by process type. So you can customize a tickler. Also the client information, I want to see billing information as well. So I can add that and then just save. Let me refresh my screen and go back to my tickler. So now my layout has those cases by process type, and I also have accounts receivable aging here. Okay, so you guys can also customize your tickler, and each of the users can customize that as well. I forgot to mention this, but under the user preferences, if you go to tickler, also the settings, this is where you change the time frame. On mine, for the process steps, I like to have 0 to 5, 620, like you could customize those as well. And then also the type of chart. Okay, well, one more thing to show you guys, and then we're done. Let me play this video and let me know if you have any questions, okay?
Hello, and welcome to our Cerenade video. Cerenade has released a new set of e-fileable USCIS forms, which are the N336, the G28, the I765, I821D, and the N565, with more USCIS forms being released soon. This video will go over how to e-file these forms. Let us log into our caseworker portal. Let us locate a case profile with one of these forms. From the Form section, let us access a form like the I821D. We will proceed to work on the form, and once finished with the form, click on Save, and exit the form. Once ready to e-file, we will lock the form. We will then go to the e-filing column and click on Schedule to send it to the e-filer. When clicking Schedule, you will see a pop-up appear. The reason this pop-up appears is the form has miscellaneous fields, and to ensure things transfer properly to the US site, you must confirm the information on these sections, fill out missing fields, or reformat any answer you had. Let us click on Next. You will now see the questions. You will see some sections transferred over properly from the form and some did not. If the field was empty on the form, it is up to you to manually insert the information here. If the form had information but appears blank here, you will see what answer you had in red text. You will then re-input the answer in the format that is acceptable on the USCIS site. You will also see a mandatory checkbox at the top. If clicked, it will only show mandatory questions you have to answer to be able to e-file. If you uncheck this, this will show other questions that may apply to your client depending on the answers you had on their form, but are not mandatory to e-file. Please note that any reformatted answers you enter here will only remain here and go to the e-filer. This will not transfer back to the form. Because of this, we still recommend having the information filled out on the form before reformatting the questions here. Additionally, this miscellaneous e-filing box not only appears when scheduling a form. If you save a form and go back into a form to edit, you will notice a new section on the black toolbar up top titled E-Filing Validation. If clicked, it will prompt the same miscellaneous e-filing box. You have the option of completing the questions here before scheduling the form to be e-filed. Let us continue. Once reviewing the questions and formatting it properly, you can click on Save and Schedule. Your form has now been sent to the e-filer. If you have not downloaded the e-filer, this can be done by hovering over the tools on the left and clicking on e-filing. You will then see a link at the bottom with the latest version. You will download it to your computer and install it. Please note that there are prerequisites that you may need to download as well. Those are available on this page. Also, please note that this download is only required once. You do not have to come back and re-download every time you have to e-file. Once the e-filer is downloaded to your PC, you can locate it on your computer and click to open the application. You will be asked to input your website, which is applied on the e-filing page we just saw in the caseworker portal, and you will then be asked to input your login credentials. Once logged in, you will see your scheduled forms. You will locate your form and click on e-file. You will then be taken into the USCIS site to log in with your credentials. You will then proceed to locate the e-fileable form. You will proceed with reading the instructions from the USCIS site and confirming, and once in the form, the Populate Data button will appear. When clicked, it will transfer the information you had on eIMMIGRATION and bring it into your e-fileable form. You will go page by page reviewing, clicking Populate Data until completing the form. Once you have finished e-filing, you can come back to the form and click on Submit. What this does is marks the form as complete. It will prompt you to enter a reference number, and once finished, the form will disappear here in the e-filer, and the next time you go into the case profile, you will see the status as complete and see the reference number you input. With the new forms released, you will follow the same format to successfully e-file the forms. Now, in some instances, when e-filing a form, you will be asked to submit another form simultaneously, like a G28 for example, which is possible with our software. To e-file multiple forms, you want to make sure both forms are finished on eIMMIGRATION, scheduled, any miscellaneous fields have been reformatted, and both appear as scheduled on the e-filer. When inside the USCIS site and on the e-fileable form like the I-130, if the form asks for G28 info, you will simply click on the Schedule Forms on the e-filer, locate the G28, and click on e-file. You will be brought back into the USCIS site to locate the form you were currently in, the I-130. Proceed with going into the I-130 you were working on, and you will reach the point of the form where it asks for the G28 info, and the Populate Data button will appear. When clicked, it will import the G28 info here. You will proceed to go page by page, clicking the Populate Data button, inputting the G28 information. This concludes our video on the new e-fileable forms.
One thing I want to point out is that obviously we have enhanced the e-filing module. Let me make sure my screen is showing. Yes. Okay. So one thing, number one, the e-filing actual application has been revamped and is easier than it was before. You still have to click on the populate data, obviously one page at a time to confirm everything is okay. And also we added new forms such as the 765. So like more forms are being added actually. And I want to show you a trick. If you don't know which forms are e-fileable, when you go to any case and search for the forms, just click find and sort by e-fileable. So these are the forms that you can e-file as long as they have the check mark. And yeah, so the 539 is also new. 765 is here, 589, 821D, 821. So you do have more forms available for e-filing purposes. If you don't know, again, just search for the form, type the number 765, and the little box should be checked. Okay. Could PDFs be uploaded after client approves form? You mean into eIMMIGRATION, or are you talking about e-filing? Because that, if you are uploading e-filing, okay. Well, yeah, if you are e-filing, the only thing that we handle will be transferring the data here from eIMMIGRATION to their website. Whatever you do as far as like supporting evidence or anything else that other PDFs and you can upload before you complete the application or submit it. Okay, let me see. When you're When you are in the e-filer, is there a way to delete the schedule forms which we have already uploaded and don't? Yes. If you don't need them anymore, you can delete. Um, you're not deleting the actual form, you're just removing it from the e-filer. Yes. I have not seen asylum questionnaire. Well, remember, if you go into the administrator portal, you can click on custom form templates, go to intake forms, and then system intake forms. And we have questions for the asylum, which you can modify. If you copy that questionnaire for the asylum, you can add or remove questions if you haven't customized your questionnaire. We do have like general basic information, history of employment, education history, all of those you can combine into one questionnaire. We did a we did a training last week on how to customize questionnaires. If you have not, again, um, subscribed yet to our YouTube channel, I suggest you do. And it's somewhere here. Oh, like this one, customize intake forms, step by step. They're probably gonna upload more videos. All right, so let's go over the resources and support. If you have questions, what to do. You can contact us Monday through Friday, 8 to 5 Pacific Standard Time, except on holidays. You can email us 24/7. You can also, like I said, click on your home screen where it says technical support and send us a message. Again, for that person who said the G28 was not auto-populating on the e-filing module, please contact us so we can connect to your screen. You can also send your feedback to our developers. Oh, you're welcome. We have the user's guide link. We do these trainings for free every week on Fridays at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. We even have a podcast. It's called Cerenade Snacks. We have a forum page on Facebook. I suggest that you guys click on the link. Make sure that before you disconnect, you download the PowerPoint presentation. Um, we have, of course, like I said, the YouTube channel, so please subscribe. Some of the questions that you guys sent prior were how to submit the DS-260 from eIMMIGRATION. Again, please subscribe to the e-filing module. I put the link right here for instructions. Can we translate questionnaires to other languages? Yes, most of the system intake forms do include the translation, but you can copy any of those and add the language option. How do I put a question in a custom questionnaire for someone's social media accounts required? We have passed on this feedback to our development team with the suggestion to include social media questions in the client profile, as well as on questionnaires. For now, you may create custom fields and questions and link to them, and then map to the corresponding forms. If you need help with this, please contact us. We need help streamlining processes. From the admin portal, you can click on processes and customize the forms, documents, steps, everything. We also recommend you customize the process steps and use a tickler as well as custom reports to review these steps. Please know that custom reports is another optional module you need to be subscribed to. And how to link intake forms to our website. Once you create the custom intake form, use the anonymous questionnaire feature. Let me quickly show you where that is. Just go here, create questionnaire, select anonymous, and then add. So for example, if I want to put a link on my website for asylum prospects, or are you interested in asylum or whatever, I can select who's going to be the person in charge of these prospects, interested in asylum. And then I just select the process, asylum. I think I saw it right here. And then select the questionnaire. Okay. Or you can pick from the general list, like the one that I have for asylum. This is a custom intake form. And so that means that every time a client, or technically a prospect, goes into my website and they click on that link, they enter their own name and last name and email address. And maybe I can put, dear applicant, because I don't know their name, they're not a client yet. And they'll click on this link and they'll get information to log in into the client portal to complete that intake form. Once they complete the questionnaire, I'll get that notification via email, or I can look at the icon right here. But yes, that is doable through the anonymous questionnaires. Like always, we have a did you know section. All of these fields or links actually will take you to either a video or an article so that you can learn more about some of these features. This is a list of forms that we have on e-filing and also the link for importing from the CBP website. Make sure you are subscribed to e-filing. All right, so for the month of March, like I said, next week we're doing a basic training for new users. Also on the 24th, we're doing case management tools. And lastly, efficient and time-saving tricks and shortcuts. I hope that you guys learned something new. Thank you so much for your time. Please make sure that you connect with Cerenade and have a great weekend, everyone. If you have any questions, I'm going to stay here. Oh, thank you so much. You too. Enjoy your weekend. Thank you, everyone. You're welcome. It was nice seeing you. Have a great weekend. Stay safe. Someone asked, how do I know if I have e-filing? If you're not the administrator and you want to know if you have that module or which modules, click on the top right and then go to subscription details. E-filing should have, or any of these modules should have an expiration date. If it says NA, it means that you don't have it. By the way, you can also click on the question marks and it will take you to any related articles, how to e-file a form, or, but yes, that's how you can check. Thank you for the question. All right, well, thank you again for attending this live webinar, and please contact us if you have any questions. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel on YouTube called Cerenade Academy. Have a great weekend, everyone.